We're live on a Mother Lovin' Friday.
On a Friday. Thank God it's Friday. TGIF.
Before
Welcome
we
to
dive in,
Huh?
before we dive in, what the, what in the bluest of blue hells are you wearing?
Dude, it's my Chauncey Billups jersey, man. It's
Is there any in particular reason why you would want to wear Chauncey? I feel like in the pantheon of NBA jerseys, I don't think one time I've ever seen a Chauncey Billups jersey.
dude, he's huge here.
I wonder why.
Well,
Yeah.
Finals MVP,
hmm
just like myself. So, you know, welcome to the Legends Clubhouse. I am Bobby, Finals MVP Caboose. As
Big shot
always,
caboose.
huh?
Big
Finals
shot.
MVP.
Big shot
Big,
caboose.
yes.
BSB.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And right through that screen on the other side, through his camera, that's Lawson underscore or Lawson underscore 1226. What's going on, man?
Dude, fuck
I can't stop laughing today. But
the dude.
anyway,
For as much of a
I'm not gonna get
huh?
us, bro. I'm
So
not
what?
gonna get us king.
I hope.
Dude, big shot.
Yeah. Turn into Mr. Big Blind.
Yes,
They
absolutely, dude.
no,
He's
but so yeah.
that
Go
was
ahead.
all over the news, like local news, man. Like I local news, then the national news,
It was
because
everywhere.
you know
For those who don't
Chauncey,
know,
uh,
for those who don't
um,
know,
Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier and about 30 other people,
mhm,
Damon Jones, got arrested for illegal poker, like a illegal poker ring,
mhm.
and then betting on themselves. Right? Terry Rozier was betting on himself, which his career's probably done.
Mhm.
Guessing, you know, that dude. So apparently, he would bet, told one of his friends to bet on his under, and one particular game, he left the game after like 9 minutes with a foot injury,
Yep.
and all of his unders hit, and there was like $200,000 on it. Dude,
Mhm.
aren't you making millions? What's going on here? Why does this little 200,000 need to be added to your salary? Um, I think the only way to get past stuff like this, because it's not going to be it's not the first time that it happened, and it's not going to be the last time it happened.
Mhm.
I think that sports books are going to need to get rid of player props eventually.
The I when the whole story came out yesterday, it I'm not happy things like this happen. I'm happy things like this come out because
Hmm.
as a sports fan and someone who covers all these leagues, I want to keep the integrity of the game. And
Yeah.
the fact that, well, just like you said, like it was just what was it 2 years ago where Michael Porter Jr.'s brother Jonte Porter got found guilty for doing this shit.
Hmm.
Well, he wouldn't miss an injury or he wouldn't like fake an injury, but he would just play like ass.
Yeah.
Um, it's really interesting to me because when you've made over 160 million dollars that Terry Rozier has, wouldn't the easier way to get your friends like a little bag, is to just say, "Here's 20K, go invest it," or do
Right.
something like that. It like you should go to jail for being a level one dumbass because like it is essentially just stupid where you've made 160 million and the fact that little 200 grand here or however much he profited off of doing it because
Mhm.
I'm sure the majority of it was his friends putting a shit ton of money on it and then them just cutting him off a piece.
Right. And it's like I said, the player props are probably the easiest to manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
It's even with
Especially the sport of basketball too. Like that's the genuine
right.
easiest sport to if you're going to try and fix due to you can in real time affect the score. with just bullshit calls.
Exactly. And even with rebounds, assists, whatever, you
Hmm.
can just plain out or flat out not go for a rebound.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, man, this story was absolutely wild. Again, like that's kind of all everything that I saw yesterday. That was the only thing reoccurring throughout the afternoon. And not only is yeah, Terry Rozier's careers, I would think would probably be done.
Hmm.
Chauncey, they're both under like they're not, I don't think they're quite suspended, but they're pretty much suspended
Hmm.
until the further details come out. But there's there's a at least for the Chauncey and the coaching job, there's like a morality clause, um, or integrity clause in the contract that they were saying on the news that basically that's gonna. It's the same thing that happened to Michigan State's football coach Mel Tucker,
Hmm.
when he was like sexting some fucking chick on the staff, and then it was only after I think 1 year, and he signed like a fucking like 7 or 8 year deal, and he was like, it was supposed to be like he was gonna be the, I think, the highest paid coach in the Big Ten,
Hmm.
and he screwed that up by flirting with his HR chick, or whoever it
It's
was.
kind of like Brett Favre and the trainer, when he
Yeah.
was in, I think it was New York.
Yeah, but dude, it's crazy for Billups. I mean, the 4 out of 5 mafia families are involved.
Hmm.
Um, at that point, like, are you fearing for your life? Like, how serious is the mafia right now?
And
I'm kind of scared wearing this jersey. I'm just kidding. I have nothing to do with this. I'm just a Detroit Pistons fan.
another thing that's interesting to think about, because he's been making $1 million+ every year at his job since what,
Yeah,
96,
yeah,
97. So it's like, with the mafia being involved, it's like, who either what the fuck could they have on Chauncey Billups? Now, the real interesting thing is, if, let's say you, for example, if you were to go out and rob somebody for $200,000, you're going to jail or prison. That is
yeah.
essentially what is happening. And because they're using the stigma of poker around it, but I can promise you, for, and not from the first-hand experience, but for the parties involved in those poker games, it's not like the pot is $1,000.
Right.
Like the amount of money that what is slash was being moved in these poker tournaments is so much. And do you want to know why? Like the FBI
7 million, over
seven.
7 million.
Mm-hmm. So, and and like, big picture, what is wrong with that 7 million? It's not taxed because it's in a poker game. So of course the
Right.
government's going to be like, the amount of money that's changing hands that we can't get a piece of is real
Yeah.
interesting. So, that would obviously lead to the, oh, well, how does one get $7 million out of thin air? But
Yeah.
it's so funny too, because that's essentially what they were doing, is they were just flat out robbing people.
Right. And Chauncey's been involved with us since 2019.
Hmm.
Uh, it was reported that Damon Jones, former Cleveland Cavalier, and I think he was coaching somewhere. I don't know if he was a head coach, but I think he was coaching somewhere. But apparently he got Chauncey in. Apparently he was
Mm.
the liaison in between the Mafia and Chauncey. Them two were known as their face cards, and it was like, from my understanding, it was basically like, oh, you want to play, you like high stakes poker? Do you want to come play with these NBA legends?
Yeah, at
Um,
at Chauncey's house.
oh, it was at his house.
That's what I heard or saw, that the
Okay.
poker that the poker games would be at like Chauncey's house or one of his homes or
Oh,
whatever.
I didn't know that. I didn't hear that, but I did hear, they had marked cards.
Mm.
They had glasses and contact lenses
Yep.
that you know, kind of it could read the whatever barcode or QR code or whatever, however they did it.
Mm-hmm.
They had X-ray technology with these tables. They were they were see-through tables underneath the bottom, and then they could scan and just all a bunch of fucking high tech. Dude, it's like it sounds like a freaking mob
James,
movie, like
uh,
Ocean's 19.
uh,
Ocean's
insert,
One, Chauncey Phillips. Ocean's One.
dude. This has like James Bond mixed with fucking Rounders. Insert poker movie,
You
like
know, yeah, yeah.
for real, dude. And the
What's that? The Gambler.
mm-hmm, insert Uncut Gems, a banger Adam Sandler movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I've seen it once. That was good enough for me.
It was really
KG, give me the thing, KG.
bro.
Yeah.
I remember watching that movie maybe 4 or 5 months ago. One of my buddies saw it and was like, "Yo, we gotta fucking watch this fucking movie. You're a fucking, you're a degenerate gambler. Have you not seen this movie? It's fantastic." And so we watched, and I was like, "Yo, that was a banger movie, dog." I really liked it. Now though, but
I
the whole
watched it once and I was like, I'm probably good on it. I like,
yeah,
yeah, we're live. I'm tired. Why don't we just do this at 9 o'clock again? But anyway, I watched it once and I was like, okay, that was a decent movie,
mhm,
but I have no desire to watch it again.
yeah. The
Maybe I'm bored, but
to spiral back to the whole Chauncey thing. It just goes back to the like I I guess when you are a desirable person, whether it be, man, woman, human being, athlete, whatever,
hmm
I don't know what continues to drive like that itch. Because once again, if you've been making at least $1 million a year in whatever job you've been at since 1996, even if you just do the math, that's what,
30
$30 million
minutes. Yeah.
bare minimum. Now, once again, Chauncey is, he was more of a upper echelon player when he played, especially towards, like the middle part of his career. So I haven't done the math on his career earnings just in the NBA. But once again, if you've been making $1 million a year minimum since 1996, it's not like he's hurting for cash.
Right. Well, he could be. We don't know. I don't think we know his role in it either. I don't know if
He was just hosting
like
it or whatever.
yeah, who knows if he knew anything behind it, whatever. So a lot of things haven't come out yet that will probably and see if he's off. But they were like interview. So obviously, Mr. Big Shot's huge here in Detroit. He was a NBA Finals MVP for the Detroit Pistons in 2004. And he really didn't have a home in the NBA prior to Detroit. Like he was a
Hmm.
little bit of a journeyman. They kind of considered him a bust, and then he found Detroit, and it was like the right fit. And he led our team to the NBA Finals. Anyway, they were interviewing people on the streets, on the local news, and people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." I'm shocked. He just doesn't seem like a guy that would. Dude, another example of like, you don't know these fucking people, man. Like, Chauncey seems like a fucking great guy, but I
Hmm.
never met him. Have you ever met him? Probably
No,
not. So who the fuck knows if, he's a good person, piece of shit, like fucking saint, devil, whatever.
you remember?
Like, everyone's got their vices and shit, and
Hmm.
this is just another example of that. And like for people to be like so like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like, dude,
You
I've been
can believe
around
it.
for 38 years, seen a lot of shit, and when something like this comes out, like you're like, all right, dude, well, he's the next one to go down for doing some stupid shit or whatever, you know.
Do you remember a couple months ago when Gilbert Arenas was actually arrested for kind of the same thing of just like hosting the. Oh, you don't?
No, I remember the gun thing in the locker room. That's the last thing I know about Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, it's funny enough. A couple months ago, he got arrested or took into custody for essentially the same thing that Chauncey got arrested for now, where he was like hosting or at these poker games with a lot of these like uh
hmm
I don't remember if it was Russian arms dealers or gangsters or something, and a lot of people, immediately you see the headlines, Gilbert Arenas arrested with, arms dealers, and it's like, what the fuck were you doing? You know?
Right. Well,
So
like
it's,
it too, man. Like in you know, I don't live in a world of I told you so's, but
mm,
I'm one of those people that like, and I may be one of the, I'm not an annoying one, in the group, but I am one of those people that like question the integrity of sports
mm,
because, as Wu-Tang fucking taught me, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar dollar bill, y'all. So everyone's gonna bend to the almighty dollar at the end of the day, right? Or
right.
like the $1 million man said, everyone's got a price, right? Ha ha ha.
Everyone.
Ha. But so it's like I said, these player props are the easiest probably thing to manipulate. But
Mm,
you got to take that into consideration, man. Like it's like okay, like Vegas and money and the mafia and whoever they fucking run this shit, dude. And if you're ignorant to it, then I'm sorry, you're being left behind. But, I've been saying, there's been something up, for years. And it's like even like boxing, man. Like boxing used to be the most rigged sport, ever. Like people taking dives, shit, horse racing. I mean, rigging shit in sports is not new.
right.
It's just there are way smarter people than you and I, doing this shit. And sometimes they get caught, but like dude, I think, I would probably laugh at anyone that thinks that sports are 100% clean because they're not.
Do you like obviously the reason it being easier to rig, like the 40s, 50s, 60s, there's not as much technology that there is today. Like
Yeah.
example, you couldn't do what Chauncey did or Terry Rozier did in the NFL because example, even if you're a top tier wide receiver and you drop 10 passes, your local media is going to be after the game immediately talking about you because
Mhm.
all the games are picked through with a fine tooth nail that any
Yeah.
small, blunder, even in the game, even such as small as coach, why don't you call a timeout there? It's you're
Hmm.
getting asked that immediately after the game.
Right.
And that's where the scarcity of NFL games and the NBA where there has been, the tanking over the past handful of years where it's like, oh, if I'm doing this in game 73, in which we've won 15 games over the course of the year, the game really doesn't matter.
Right.
Which is a
Yeah.
completely other, it's a completely other discussion and a completely different problem to
Hmm.
discuss.
Yeah, I mean, even like the Cleveland Guardians closer, Emmanuel Clase just got
Yep.
caught and he was doing prop bets of his first pitch was either
Mm.
a strike or ball, and he would have him bet on a ball. And dude, there was, I mean, these pitches were fucking 4 feet outside,
I,
hitting guys,
one bouncing off.
bouncing it into the,
Yep.
yeah, into the plate, like just spiking it, whatever. And again, it's these player props or the live bets that, it's like, okay, well, you're either gonna have to deal with this type of shit or you have to eliminate it.
Hmm.
It's up to you. And I know a lot of betting fans that including you and I, that, we don't really want to see props leave, but if that's the solution, that's the solution. I mean,
Yeah.
what,
Did.
what are you gonna do? Like now, especially after this, you know, everything's gonna be under a microscope for a while.
Mm,
And they're not gonna catch everyone at all at once. Even like with you can't tell me that Otani wasn't controlling those bets, right? Like he's the face of the fucking baseball. It'd be Major League Baseball's biggest mistake to get him in trouble at all. So yeah, there's gonna be a fall guy as
I
interpreter or whatever.
I will die on that.
Terry Rozier.
I'll
Switch Terry Rozier with SGA might
oh
be the same fucking thing, dude.
dude, I will die on that conspiracy that it's probably more likely than not Shohei was doing it and the MLB was like, hey dude, we might slide you an undisclosed check if you take the fall.
Right.
It's
Your dude's gonna be okay. Trust me.
dude, it makes me laugh, and that's where we can spiral to the Dodgers because the World Series starts tonight. I don't know. The Blue Jays they're getting Bo Bichette back, and he's missed the entirety of the playoffs. I just don't know if they have the horses, dude. I really don't.
Yeah. And the funny thing is you do play Bo Bichette now. He's one of your best players, but you are kind of rolling without him.
You're
Um,
rolling, and for as good of a hitter as he is, they've been an excellent defensive team.
yeah. So, but yeah, again, you're going against Team Japan, or the Japan Dodgers, and they're just rolling, dude. I don't know. This could be. I hope it's not a landslide
Hmm.
series. Like I have a feeling, or I have a feeling that it might be, but it has the potential of being one of the all-time great World Series because
Hmm.
just the star power, both lineups are stacked. Um, Toronto hasn't won it in 30 plus years.
Yep.
I don't think they've gotten there since the early 90s.
Hmm.
Um, and Dodgers are trying to go back to back, but we'll see, dude. Like these both these lineups are crazy good. Both pitching staffs are good. Both teams have been scoring a lot of runs. Like it has the potential of being a very good series.
The only way that I can see Toronto, like, once again, it's baseball and sports. Anything can happen, and it is a series, and more often than not, the better team will win over the course of a series. Excuse me, than a one game scenario. The dot if I were the Dodgers, I would be like I would not want to play Toronto. Number one, they're hot. Number two, in every single like major category of I'm gonna get to your bullpen earlier than not, it's the Blue
Hmm.
Jays. They I think they were the last team in terms of hitting strikeouts, most pitches per plate appearance. Like they just have a lot of guys like George Springer, who hit that three run moonshot. He has fucking experience in the World Series. It like you just have a unit that
Scherzer,
yeah, you just have a unit that
a
the
big unit, Randy Johnson.
they could really use one. I don't know, bro, because to me the superpower of the Dodgers this postseason has been their starting pitching. Their starting pitching has
Mhm.
been excellent, and their bullpen is dog shit. So it's if they can get a 5 inning game from any of the Dodgers starters, that's where it's gonna see can the Dodgers throw out 4 good innings from their bullpen, and I don't think
Right.
so.
Yeah, and the unsung heroes like Freddie Freeman or Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, these guys,
It's so funny to call them forgotten or unsung
right.
heroes.
Yeah, because you have Otani, you got Yamamoto, you got Mookie Betts, you got Will Smith still on the team.
You know what's even more
Uh,
funny? It's
Max Muncy. Like it's like, dude, you're
both
fucking stacked.
Hernandezes, and then you still got Andy
Yeah.
Paez and I like, dude. Oh, you'll think this is awesome. So it's funny you brought up Will Smith, because did you know Will Smith, the name, is going for his
He
six,
slapped
is going
someone.
for he what?
He slapped someone.
No, he probably
On
did.
Will Smith.
Oh yeah, wrong Will Smith. But speaking of wrong Will Smiths, Will Smith, the name, is going for his sixth straight World Series title.
Really?
This year, Will Smith the catcher. Last year, Will Smith the catcher.
Oh, okay.
Then
The
Will
name.
Smith the pitcher. Will Smith the pitcher. Will Smith the pitcher. And then Will Smith the catcher.
That's got to be some kind of record. We got to look that up to see if that's some kind of record as
For
far as the
names,
same name
yeah.
being in World Series 6 consecutive times.
I,
They didn't
I
win it consecutive times, did they?
they did.
Will Smith
W-
won 6 consecutive World Series.
Will Smith, the pitcher, went from the Braves to the Astros to the Rangers, and now this Will Smith is, the Dodgers. So it's like, it's
Interesting.
dude, it's so funny because it's those
So
little
is it
it's
5 in a row or 6 in a row? Are they going for
this will
7 or are they going
they're
for
going for
6?
6.
Okay, they're going for 6. So they've won 5 World Series in
Yeah,
a
there's a
row.
chance to go for
Okay.
6. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like, and it's one of those kind of sort of not really things. So, in the late 2010s, there was a bench player who was drafted by the Golden State Warriors. His name was Patrick McCaw, right?
Oh,
Yeah, like a bird.
McCall.
Yeah, McCaw.
Yeah,
And
McCall.
his first 2 years in Golden State and in the NBA were when Kevin Durant was on Golden State. So he won 2 titles immediately, and
Mhm.
then when he left Golden State, he went to Toronto. So it was funny because everyone's like, "Holy fuck, he's got the best start to a career ever, bro! Just if you want to win a championship, go get Patrick McCaw."
Yeah, McCall. Dude,
McCaw
how many does he have now? 11?
3.
Is he past Bill Russell? Oh,
No, he ended at 3. But hey, dude, still got. There, listen, there's a lot of great all-time greats with no rings. A lot of them.
he's almost got more than your boyfriend, LeBron.
Hey,
Um,
almost.
yeah, almost, dude. He's a better player than him. I know that. I would take Ben Wallace right now over LeBron. Um,
We don't. First of all, we don't. We're not slandering, and I know you didn't slander, but we don't tolerate Ben Wallace slander around here. Bro's awesome.
Ben Waslander.
Ben Wallace.
Oh, I thought you said Benoit. I was like, "Wait, that turned dark." Um,
We're
we
not
we can't slander someone that killed himself and killed his family. Jesus.
allegedly.
Who yeah, allegedly. Who can we slander then?
I Speaking of Benoit, before we go to wherever the fuck we're going, I've been seeing I saw a couple like
The
rumors
AI
and
video?
stuff on the.
Oh, rumors that he's coming back? Longest running storyline?
I've seen a bunch of rumors that it's like, oh, I will die on the hill that he actually wasn't the one. Someone broke in and did it. And I'm like, okay, dude, I'll take your word for it.
Dude, there's crazy conspiracies that
Mm,
that Kevin Sullivan
that's who it is.
was the one. Yeah, because Benoit was married to his ex-wife. Um, Benoit was paranoid of someone following him to and from the arenas,
Yep.
and shit like that. Yeah, so there's the conspiracy out there.
I feel like there's a conspiracy for damn near everything now.
I know. Look at Chauncey. Um, I mean, dude, he was so loved here that my one of my buddies, his parents named one of their dogs Chauncey. You
It's
know,
awesome.
it's just you know craziness, man, craziness. Because it's Detroit's a cool city to where like if you win a championship here, man, you're automatically idolized. Like
Yeah.
we have enough, but we don't have a lot, if that makes sense. Like the Pistons have only won it 3 times. The Red Wings have won it quite a bit of times throughout their fucking longevity, but it's I think it's less than 10.
Mm.
Um, and then the Lions have never won, and the Tigers only have 4 World Series.
Series there are
World
certain.
Series.
Yeah, there are certain cities where just titles mean more to the city.
Right. And it just, like we don't take them for granted. And once we get it, we love our guys. Like, and that's why I don't understand. Like, people are like, "Oh, I love Matt Stafford," or "I love Justin Verlander." Well, they didn't do anything here. So, do you really love him? Are you
Like
really
the
gonna remember?
when
Who cares?
like dude, I remember when the Braves won the World Series here, like there was always, the fandom of, the Braves fans and stuff like that.
I was
But
gonna say which one, and I
huh?
know you. I was like, oh yeah, he wasn't alive in '95.
Yeah, the more recent one that they won. I don't even know if they won in '95.
They won in '95 against Cleveland.
Were they the Guardians then?
No.
Well, then that doesn't matter. I'm kidding.
I, I was gonna say you've had like 20 years of the Indians. What the hell are you talking about?
No, but
No, it was the Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux, Chipper Jones, John Smoltz, Uh,
That's a crazy pitching staff when you think about it.
yeah, I mean Chipper Jones obviously not, but the three, hell yeah,
Right.
and then they had a fourth guy. I forget the guy's name, but he was like lights out as well. But he wasn't just one of the big three. But then they had like yeah, Chipper Jones. Who else did they have? They might have had Gary Sheffield at the time. I'm not sure. Um, I don't know. A few other studs. I
Yo,
forget.
I got
I was 8 when it happened.
I got
Um,
I got a great random topic we could do. Uh, Once again, this will probably be in hell. We can do it next Wednesday. Of just some of our all-time like favorite just pure teams. Didn't
that's a
even have to
horrible.
be the. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like, dude, example. The 2016 Steelers offense was fire. I had a bunch of terrorists as my defensive backs.
Wait, what?
I had a bunch of terrorists. Kidding. As my DBs. Like, have you ever like go? Huh?
Palomalu?
No, he was retired by then. Example. You just experienced this last year. Have you ever had just a top tier offense, and then you had to trot out somebody like Antoine Blake as your starting cornerback?
Who the hell's Antoine Blake?
That's my point. And
Hmm.
he was my starting cornerback for like it. It makes me laugh so hard when because I waited 8-10 years for my offense to be good again. Me being a Steelers fan, and now it's like my defense sucks. So it's like, well,
You got TJ Watt
yeah, and Cam Hayward,
and
and we
Ryan Shazier.
Ryan Shazier was supposed to be that guy, man.
He's not paralyzed, is he?
No,
Okay.
you know what's even
I was
more?
gonna I was gonna feel really bad if he was paralyzed, but yeah, he was in a wheelchair for a little bit, right? And then he got out.
Yeah, and then he actually, I think that following year or the year after, he announced like our first round pick and was walking across the stage. Um, Funny thing though about Ryan Shazier, so I don't remember if it was him and his wife. They put out like a marriage counseling esque book, and then a couple years ago it came out that he was like cheating on her and stuff, and they got a divorce. And I'm like, that's so funny how a couple years before y'all put out like this marriage book.
Right. Like how to have a great marriage. End it.
How to grab it?
That's that's the only chapter in the book.
It's just
Yeah,
one
how do
page.
you get
End it.
that into that? Yeah, man.
Fucking
That's
nuts.
that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, but what else is new?
Did
What
you?
happened last night? Chargers killed the Vikings and no one cares.
They zap.
Um,
They zapped them.
yeah, I
Did you
I
get
didn't
it?
watch one. I didn't watch one of the. I forgot Thursday night football was on yesterday. I actually, yeah, the whole day yesterday. Even I go and record a podcast 64-bit Legends.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes up today, the episode will be on New Leaf News soon. But I went to record, got home, and was even telling the girlfriend that I was like, "Holy shit, you got to work tomorrow." Because I didn't realize that it was Thursday and not Friday. So I'm a little off.
Dude, so the Thunder had a finals rematch against the Pacers last night in the first game of ESPN's doubleheader. Tell me why that game went to double overtime too, and Shea dropped 55 on 26 free throws, 26 free throw
Dude,
attempts.
if I had 26 free throws in the NBA, I would end with probably 26 points
Like,
because I wouldn't be able to get another shot off.
it's so funny too, cause this is not a promotion, but by far one of the best like in real time sporting apps is the real app. If you don't have it, get it. Sign up. It's awesome. It has your in-depth sports box scores. Keeping up with games is a lot easier. Um, and the best part is you can go in and for all the players in like the box score, you can click and you can comment on them. So you the app is awesome, but it's mainly been popularized, due to the you can keep up with your bets and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So the amount of times where the game hasn't like the game tipped off, we'll be 20 seconds in. I'm like, oh, there's already 70 comments. Let's go see. I click first thing, bitch, and just going down the list of like fake ass MVP. Get me my 30 piece tonight. I I love when they'll also put out just random unfathomable, dumbass props that obviously nobody bet. So like they'll say over 67 and a half free throw attempts, king, or just stupid shit like that.
Do you think the whole Terry Rozier thing, not to go back to that, but
Yeah.
do you think the whole Terry Rozier thing will prevent future flopping?
Are you talking about the instance of the turnover
That
or
or
in
like
general?
I'm saying more of like for injury.
Oh, injury to me has always been a funky one because I remember the year and I can't think of another instance, so I'm gonna use this one. Do you remember in 2018 when Kawhi messed up his like knee slash ankle his last year for the Spurs and he sat out the entire year?
Yeah,
And you had Tony Parker coming out and on the coming out and saying, "Oh, well, my knee injury was 20 times worse." And it's like
yeah,
you never really know what these injuries are, and I think Skip Bayless years ago, brought this idea up that, excuse me, I wish there was a machine where I could step in it and say, "Oh, this is what a grade 3 ankle or a grade 3 high ankle sprain feels like," and then could I
right.
play on it? So that's why there's always there's just the instances in which like the injuries. Oh, here's a great example. So Andrew Nimhart, he's a backup point guard for the Pacers, but he's starting because Tyrese Halliburton's gonna miss the whole year due to Achilles
Mhm.
injuries. Um, he last night he played I think 17 first half minutes. He was 0 for 5 and had 4 points. And then at halftime, he didn't come back out after halftime because of a shoulder injury. And a lot of people were like, "Oh shit, Terry Rozier 2.0,
Right.
bro's playing like shit and just shoulder injury." That's I always tend to lean on the side of the instant belief because you never want to think, "Oh, he's
Right.
just faking an injury to just to either
Yeah.
get out of the game or whatever."
He doesn't need that wheelchair just because he shit himself.
Right, Paul Pierce.
Paul.
It's still so funny that Paul Pierce did that. But hey, when you gotta go, I just
Yeah.
thought about it. He had like the who was it? The Willis Reed moment in the Garden when he came back after.
Um, but that like I said earlier, man, I think that's the only way to prevent something like that to happen
It's
is to get
true.
rid of player props in general. Like it's like,
That would be the
you're gonna
easiest fix.
what's that?
That would be the easiest, swiftest fax. The only
Yeah.
patch, but the only thing there is there's so much fucking money involved that
Oh, I know.
you don't think all of these sports books are gonna say absolutely not. I don't know if you
Right.
I don't know if you saw this too when they were talking about it on ESPN yesterday. In the bottom right hand corner of their scroll wheel, XYZ showing all their ads on the side, they had because everyone's got a sports book now. They
Hmm.
had a ESPN bet literal advertisement on the fucking screen while they're talking about it, and in real time on the telecast, they took the whole scroll wheel off just to get the advertisement off while they were discussing it on that segment.
Well, that's what I said before, man. Like it's a gambler is gonna know where to gamble. You don't need to fucking have all these fucking ads. You don't need to be I don't need to know a live player prop as I was watching a minute of the Red Wings game before I left to go record the podcast last night. But I don't need to know live odds of this guy scoring and this happening
Shots on
for.
goal.
I don't also don't need to know how much my $10 will go, because they were like, yeah, for your $10, you would be winning $33 or whatever. I don't need to know that. I know as a gambler,
I can do
as
the
someone
math.
that sports bets, I know that I don't need you don't need to advertise it to me. Especially, where a lot of kids watch freaking sports. That's when you fall in love with your favorite athlete and shit. Now you fall in love with your favorite Nerfy, or favorite type of bet. Like, dude, what
Yeah,
what the fuck are we doing here, man? Like, I get it. It's all about money, but you don't like an alcoholic's gonna know where to get alcohol. And if
I'll
you're
never
addicted to
forget.
fucking nicotine, you're gonna be able to find your cigarettes somewhere. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
I'll never forget one of my boys. He was one of the first ones that like I knew about obviously like sports betting and stuff like that, but I never like did it. In
Hmm.
December of 2022, I'll never forget. My buddy lives in another state. He was like, "Oh, check out and see if this app is legal in your state for sports betting and stuff like that." And I'm like, "I watch a lot of sports. I know a thing or two, so let me try it out." And my first ever two-man slip, I remember it was Brock Purdy's first game in no, it was Tampa was playing at San Francisco, and the two props that I did that ended up cashing, it was Tom Brady pass attempts at like 34.5, and I'm like, well, Niners obviously good defense at the times, and they're gonna shut down the running game. Brady's gonna huck it over, and like Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown, and that turned my 45, that turned my 15 into 45, and now here I
3 years later, 4 years later,
am, dude,
this is the man I am. I can only afford this white tee and that comforter from 1984.
and it's still comfy. And guess what? It's a long sleeve today.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, hey, man, I'm not that much better. I'm wearing a 20-year-old jersey.
A criminal jersey.
Yeah, and I think this might be the first time I've ever actually worn this jersey. It was actually somebody else's, and I have a green alien that I used to put jerseys on,
Yeah.
and this was the jerseys that I put on the green alien.
I think I remember you saying the story about the alien just
I
taking them
should I
places.
should I should put the alien right here, like for the show. He could sit right over my shoulder.
Just wearing the Billups jersey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I might do that. Monday you might see a special guest on the show.
It's so
We'll see how
funny.
much my dog likes it.
The Lions are on bye, right?
They are. They are.
Dude, it's so funny because I was going through like in my big money league for for fantasy, like my bench, like five of my six bench players are on fucking bye week.
I know I have a lot too. Speaking of fantasy football, I got
Mhm.
offered a trade yesterday that's still pending. I think I'm gonna decline it because it's kind of, I don't think it's in my favor at all.
Mhm.
Um so the guy offered me, he wants Puka and Zay Flowers.
Well, he better be
So
coming
I'm
off it.
like, dude, he's offering me Brock Bowers, which I'm like, okay.
Tight end one.
Um, a a future first round pick.
Oh, because it's a
Uh,
dynasty league.
yes, and three future third round picks.
That's a fucking haul.
Uh, but
But
my
it's Puka.
receivers, my receivers, I have Puka, I have Zay Flowers, I have Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Mhm.
I have J-Mo, I have that 6'5" motherfucker from in Carolina, the rookie. Um,
McMillan.
yeah. I also have Jerry Judy, and I also have let me check.
So
I think I have another stud. But at one point, dude,
mm,
at one point, like I had like the best fucking receivers by far. Um, let me see here.
because
Do I have
outside of your top two, you don't have like a Marvin Harrison's a one, kinda.
right?
McMillan's a one, kinda.
Yeah,
Jerry Judy's a
yeah,
one, kinda.
right. So, but I used to have Amon Ra. I used to have Carl Pickens. I used to
Hold
have
on,
DeAndre
who
Hopkins.
who the fuck is Carl Pickens?
George Pickens? Carl Pickens is a kid I went to school with. George Pickens.
I assumed it was George Pickens, but he said Carl Pickens. I'm like, who the fuck is that guy?
Whatever it is. Carl Pickens is a year older than me. Shout out Carl Pickens. Um,
Yo, Carl, have you ever seen the show, man?
yeah, and it's funny because it's not even someone that I ever talked to. I just know the fucking name. Um, anyway,
Right.
I had Amon Ra, Carl Pickens, um, uh, DeAndre Hopkins at one point, and then who was my other? Because I traded a couple stud receivers to get some future assets and
Yeah.
shit, which I probably should have kept Amon Ra and Pickens, but you live and you learn. But anyway, I had Debo as well. But Debo, like, I felt like when I got rid of Debo, I was like, I just think he's kind of washed. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure. But anyway, so what I think I'm going to decline a trade because it's just giving up two of my best receivers and kind of running me thin at that position, even though I'd be getting Brock Bowers in return and a few draft picks. But this year, I have 2 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and I think 2 third-round picks. So I should be able to,
Get whoever you want in the draft.
I think I'm gonna draft a bunch of quarterbacks because I just need now that Justin Fields might not be a starter. Someone offered me like Aaron Rodgers and 2/3 yesterday for one of my seconds. And before I was even able to like contemplate it, he offered the same trade to somebody else and they took it. So
It's funny.
anyway,
Dynasty leagues are always interesting due to the picks.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like, dude, like Cam Scatabo, dude, like he was drafted probably in the 3rd round in our dynasty league, and like he's probably the best running back in this class. It's like crazy.
It's so funny because
Awesome or
you just,
nasty, obviously, but
right. It's so funny due to the genuine you don't know what you have until they get on the field. It's like the
100%.
it's like the Vidal kid from last night, the Chargers running back. His first name is Kumani and his last name is Vidal. Kamani Vidal. He in his second year, it's one of those, oh well, who is this guy? And
Right,
he pops off for 127 yards from scrimmage, 117 rushing, and a touchdown, and it's like, well, where the fuck did this guy come from? And it's like, oh, he's a 5'6", 5'7" running back out of Troy, who went to the combine and ran a 4.4, but you didn't know anything about him because he fell in the 6th round.
right. Or like Tez Johnson, like I
The
mean, seventh
MVP.
round pick, right? And he's tearing it up.
MVP.
So yeah. So but like I drafted Jadon Blue,
Yep.
and it's like you just like for the running backs, like you're like, okay, you gotta look at the situation, see who else is on the depth chart, and then you're like, okay, does this team run it? Is this guy gonna run it? Like because like even like last year I drafted Blake Corum and he hasn't
I
been
I drafted Blake Corum last year too, dude.
you know,
The
I
Blake
don't know
Cor-
what you're doing.
the Blake Corum of this year, I thought without a shadow of doubt, Travion Henderson would be a beast.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what he has over, or what like Ramondre Stevenson or anybody has over, because Ramondre Stevenson cannot not fumble the ball. I think Antonio
Mm-hmm.
Gibson's missing the whole year. They've got like another running back that they're like, Trayvon Henderson's a rookie, and like, did you not see any flashes in the preseason where he was being like the best player on the field?
Right.
I don't know, dude.
But like, yeah, I mean, I drafted like Tajay Spears. I thought he was gonna be taking over for Derrick Henry. Like, I know he was injured, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I also drafted Tank Bigsby. Now he's just a
Punt
returner.
returner, yeah.
I'm like, dude, like these running backs, like in these dynasty drafts, are so like hit or miss. Like, it's like, okay, well, yeah, hopefully I can just find someone on the waivers that hasn't been drafted, and
Mm-hmm.
I can put a lot of stock into. But yeah, it's very hit or miss for, and the same thing kind of with tight ends, dude. I drafted Colston,
Yeah, and he's been hitter.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, he hasn't done much for the Bears this year yet. Last year I drafted, or the year before, I have like Ben Sinnott. Do you know who Ben Sinnott is? For Washington, he was supposed to be someone. He's nothing. Eric All. You know Eric All?
All lot of ass. I don't know.
The Cincinnati Bengals. Like I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, where did these guys go? Like you
Dude,
you get drafted in like the second to fourth round, fifth round, and you never see the fucking field or you never touch the ball.
speaking of
What's
tight
going
ends,
on
that
here?
Gatskin kid had an awesome he had another awesome game last night with
I tried to get him in the waivers, and there's two people above me, and I didn't get him.
5 for 77 and a touchdown again last night.
I have Tongues, or whatever the hell his name is,
Tonjes.
from yeah, from San Fran. He had a couple good games, but now I think George Kittle might be back because he hasn't done anything that in the last game or two.
Well, he's also been hurt, which is what's funny.
Oh, god damn it. Anyway,
Although
who's not hurt on my team? Who's
who's
not hurt? Or who's not hurt or didn't get benched?
or who didn't get benched? It's an awesome question. Yeah, the whole
Field, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr retiring. Let's go.
it may
Bobby's dynasty team's in great shape right now. Jackson Dart all the way. Let's go.
yo and once again, if I was a Giants fan, I'd even though despite the losingness of the season, ever since they inserted him into the lineup, offensively and defensively, they just play with they play with a different spark.
Right.
And if you would have told me coming out of Old Miss, it's like, oh, he's gonna immediately show flash like this, I would have said, no, he's not.
Well,
Continue.
I was just gonna say as far as that because they had Russell Wilson starting the first couple weeks or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, there was reports that like when Russ was in Seattle, like he didn't have a relationship with his teammates. Like
He goes to
he would
Denver.
basically clock in and clock out, and
Hmm.
even like the offensive line, like I because they asked one offensive lineman at one point, because they were talking about it locally. TJ Lang was on the radio. He does local radio around here sometimes, and he was
Hmm.
just like, yeah, like I heard from guys that I know, usually the quarterback, especially if you're high paid, if you're the starter, usually you get your offensive lineman gifts and shit for basically saving your life. And like Russ just didn't do any of that. Like he didn't have any relationship with his offensive lineman. Like just he just didn't care.
The
And
thing
so
too
I
with
wonder if that's why the energy is different. Even in Denver when he was there and like they switched quarterbacks, the energy was different. Like I'm
uh-huh
curious to see or if that's part of the reason is just team chemistry.
the thing too with being a quarterback and being like a leader of men, you do essentially have to be one of the guys. Like you don't have to go
Yeah.
out drinking every night with your linemen, but
Hmm.
you ask anybody, even in like Philip Rivers' single year with the Colts, Matt Ryan with the Colts, Tom Brady, getting
With the Colts.
in
Andrew
his
Luck with the Colts. Peyton Manning with the Colts. Jim Harbaugh with the Colts.
everyone's with the fucking Colts, but like
Yeah,
a
all the
lot.
Colts quarterbacks. Listen to all of them.
Dude, like they had you wanting to run through a wall because they were
Right.
at like for as awesome as Peyton Manning was as a pure player, like you're never gonna hear a single bad word in the locker room because Peyton understood the hierarchy of I need to be the field general. And then I also have to, have the camaraderie and chemistry with the guys in the locker room, and that's why another thing too. When it comes to quarterbacks that are Russell Wilson esque, where they can scramble and buy time. They're also going to run into a lot of sacks, which obviously if you're a lineman, when you flip on tape, it's gonna say, oh, Jermaine, I he gave up a sack, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, actually, I was forcing my guy wide. Russ has to step up, and he took an extra step back, and dude beat me around.
Yeah, I mean, we all saw Terrell Owens cry on TV saying that's my quarterback. Imagine if they interviewed linemen because no one cares about linemen. So, unfortunately, they're just big behemoths
Speaking of
that no one cares about.
speaking of
But
funny and over,
imagine if they interviewed them, they'd all be bawling their eyes out for their quarterback, or most of them, except for Russ.
dude, for real. And speaking of um big guys that get interviewed or whatever, or that would provide interesting sound bites. Dustin Wolf, he is a goaltender for the
Any
Calgary
relation to
Flames.
Dick Wolf?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You know who Dick Wolf is?
Yeah, he's the Law and Order guy. He's the guy that
Yeah,
created all Law and Orders. Yeah, dun dun.
yeah. All right.
And
I'm just testing your knowledge.
I appreciate it.
This is Test Your Knowledge Friday.
Ooh,
TK5, TKF. I don't know why I almost said TK5, but we call it TK5 too.
TK5.
TK5,
They were the,
Tony Khan 5, baby.
the Flames lost another just game in which they're averaging a goal and a half per game, which is by far the worst in the league. And they were asking him about the game in general. He's like, I mean, it's frustrating. I can't generate the offense because he's a goalie, and
Yeah.
so
Well, hey,
especially
obviously he didn't watch the Mighty Ducks, and obviously he didn't see Keenan Thompson or sorry, Russ Tyler switch jerseys and stuff with Goldberg.
speaking of the
Maybe
mighty
he should do that.
speaking of the mighty
Ozzy Chris Osgood scored a goal.
speaking of the Mighty Ducks, did you see what the Anaheim Ducks did for their season opener the other week?
I don't know, invited Charlie Conway to
Hey,
drop the puck.
no, so you know
What they do? The flying V?
even better. They put Mighty Duck masks and jerseys over every single seat. So you have the Mighty Ducks mask now, which was it
What's the Mighty Duck mask?
like the mask for like on their old retro Mighty Ducks logo.
Oh, that stupid duck.
I
Stupid duck. What you don't know is ducks. You never see an animal mess with a duck, because if you mess with one duck, you get all the ducks, or whatever Bombay's speech was. Hey, I may have this Billups jersey, sir, but I didn't earn it. We'll see you in the playoffs.
we'll
Speaking of the playoffs,
we'll
we'll see you next time on Monday
we'll see you at
here
the
at the Legends Clubhouse.
we'll see you at the poker table.
We'll see you at the poker table. I'll make sure to be the big blind. I'll check around. Um, so anyway, thank you for joining us here at the Legends Clubhouse. We are usually live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So join us for your breakfast. Get your favorite gambler's jersey on, and have
Get
some
your
bacon
favorite
sausage.
gambler's jersey on.
He's a Hall of Famer, dude, in both categories. So anyway, go check us out. We're on New Leaf News' YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button so you get notifications. If you can't join us for breakfast, make sure you check out the show anyway for some laughs. The show always goes up on our YouTube channel. If you're looking for more content, go over to newleafnews.com or .network. Both of them take you to the same great site. We have daily content, whether it's sports, entertainment, horoscope, murder shit, the same spiel, different day. If you want it, we got it. We got a team of phenomenal writers over there. Go check us out on our socials. Be kind, don't rewind, and give us a follow over on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, and TikTok. We're at New Leaf News over there. Again, I mentioned this earlier. If you like podcasts, check out my other show. It's under the it's under the newleafnews.network pods and more section. It's called 64-bit Legends. Follow us on Instagram and X. You can find myself on those two platforms as well, at Bobby Kaboose. That Kaboose is with a K. And that guy through my screen and into your living rooms is Lawson _1226. As we said at the beginning of the show, he's on X and Instagram. Go, give him a like and follow. And we all know that A _ is his first middle name, and B, that those numbers are his PIN number and his birthday.
So
So
don't
take
steal.
some money out of the ATM and
Then go play
use it.
poker.
Go play poker, build your stack, leave before the mob takes it, and buy him some more gifts. You know, we were getting you a Joe Flacco jersey of everyone in the AFC North. Why don't you get him a Chauncey Billups jersey on every team that Billups played for? We're talking Denver, we're talking Minnesota, we're talking Detroit, we're talking Denver again, because they had different jerseys in between his two stints. We were talking the New York Knicks, and we are talking the LA Clippers. And did I mention Minnesota Timberwolves?
Yeah.
I think one as well. So go buy him a Billups jersey in every single jersey, and alternate jerseys. You can get those fucking Detroit Red babies. Get him one of those too. But so he'll have a whole new wardrobe, a whole new room. We've got to get rid of that Steeler shit. They haven't been relevant since 1974 with Terry Bradshaw. So we don't care about the Steel City around here. Anyway, thank God it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We will be back Monday. Lawson, if you want to take us out.
As always, thank you so much for joining us for episode 80.
80. Who's your favorite number 80?
Lynn Swan.
Brett Pierman.
I think Lynn Swan was 88. Fuck.
Damn.
No, he was 80. I'm pretty. You know what?
I think Brett Pierman was 80.
You said who?
Brett Pierman.
Brett.
His son was drafted by I think the Ravens, like about within the last 10